Welcome to the Red Corner Show. I am Dr. Shamila Ramjawan, host of the Red Corner Show, founder of the Princess D Menstrual Cup and the Olympus International Awards. I'm also the lead author of the world's first anthology series, Watering the Seed Stories of Personal Growth. Volumes 1 and 2 are available on Amazon, with Volume 3 launching on the 4th of July 2026. We're sharing exclusive interviews with our contributing authors. Joining me today is one of our remarkable authors from South Africa, Toni Gumede, whose contribution is featured as Chapter 24, Cleansed Yet Tested. Toni Gumede is a seasoned stakeholder relations professional with over 15 years of experience across the energy, nation branding, and infrastructure development sectors. She has completed a certificate in trade rules for developing countries at the Academy for International Business Officials in Beijing. She holds a Bachelor of Social Science degree, as well as project management and enterprise risk management certifications from the University of the Free State. Toni is a pastor, has held managerial roles at Brand South Africa, and is a professional speaker dedicated to empowering communities through faith, leadership, and transformative dialogue. Welcome to the show, Toni. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Dr. S. May I call you Dr. S?
You can just call me Shamila.
Oh, Shamila, I love calling you Dr. S. Okay, Shamila.
Yes, let's
I'm
just be
great.
humble.
I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be here. And I always reference the doctor in your name for not only my own inspiration and accountability to that aspiration, but also that I can say I have a dear friend, Dr. S. You know.
I'm going to start using that from now on, Dr. S.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. I'm so looking forward to having this quick chat with you just to get to know about your chapter in Watering the Seed Stories of Personal Growth. So before we start, is there anything that you want to tell the audience?
One of the things that I could maybe if I choose one thing for this morning before we start is nothing is impossible if you believe.
Love it. What a nice way to start the chat. Thank you for that. So let's dive right into it. What inspired you to be a part of Watering the Seed Stories of Personal Growth, and why was this the right time to share your story?
Well, I actually have inspiration that I didn't know would inspire me to write. So as one way to capture my thoughts and unburden myself sometimes of things that keep me awake at night, I, over a long time, developed a habit of just capturing my experiences, good or bad. Sometimes for me, it helps to, as a way of releasing that which is cluttering my mind, a negative or an exciting experience that I went through. So I would just take notes. Sometimes I would get up at night and just take notes and write that as a testimonial to that story, not even to go back to read it again. So it happened not with the intention to contribute to a book at all. I've never seen myself as somebody who would write or contribute this way. But my dearest friend, Dr. S, because of the amazing social impact work that she does, at some point, she invited me and extended this amazing piece of work. Now, the one thing that definitely convinced me to do it was the fact that it is for a social cause that is also so close to my heart. And so when she extended this invitation, I thought to myself, well, I have probably what could look like a couple of stories already tucked away in my notes. And they are true, lived experience. And secondly, it was the fact that you can't say no to an opportunity to contribute your value to making an impact. That's what I personally believe. And so it really happened so organically. So what you may not know, Shamila, is actually that I didn't start writing from scratch, even from volume 2. I literally went back and read a couple of what was a modest collection and decided which one resonates for that moment in my life to share.
That is amazing. So you journal a lot?
Yes, I didn't consciously think so, but I realized I do because every time, even when I'm hurt, even when something happens that's not so pleasant, to release, it's a coping mechanism and tool, I suppose. I simply take it off my head, I put it down, and the weight simply lifts off my shoulders. So yes, I do journal. That's the short answer.
Yes, I love that. I love journaling and just reflecting from time to time. So, Toni, just, in a nutshell, your courage and your willingness to share and speak your truth will definitely inspire others that are going to be watching this today because you reflected your journey. That is the truth. That is you. And that's what
Yes.
people need to appreciate from watching the seed stories of personal growth. It's what the authors have experienced, it's a true reflection of themselves.
Yes, it absolutely is. And it's humbling because I took a part of my lived experience that I think often, especially in the community of faith, has so much stigma to it, is so unpopular to speak about. And really, for me, it's to share that whoever you are, wherever you are, the human experience is common, regardless where in the world you are from, and demographically, regardless of all those differences. There are some struggles that we have, and they are especially those that are stigmatized, not only in faith communities, but especially in faith communities. And for me, the principal message is that we have a purpose, each and every one of us, and we have destiny to realize that purpose, to live in that purpose. There are some, what we may see as sacrifices in the moment, because not everything that feels like a shortcut that is easy is harmless. When we make certain concessions on our principles, for example, for me as a person who is in the faith, particularly the Christian faith, we struggle with what is widely known as the flesh. You are in constant battle to rise above what feels convenient and what is attractive now and maybe quick. But for me, sharing the story is about encouraging everyone to hold on to your convictions and not compromise your faith, your foundation, because there is such a massive multi-generational purpose and impact that you have that I cannot afford to compromise now. But bigger than that is that even when we have made errors, there is grace. We can be forgiving because we believe in a God who is forgiving, who has grace, who has mercy, and we should apply that also to ourselves. And so we can overcome some of the struggles. And this was triggered by my own experience of finding myself in a relationship that I had a very good understanding that it would pollute me, it would cloud my judgment to stay true to my purpose and my destiny. And it happened. I made the error, but it is something that is possible to overcome with discipline, with accountability, and with reminding yourself that it is possible to overcome it because you have overcome it before.
Wow. That is amazing. And, we're not going to give away too much because we want people to buy the book. And like you
Yes.
mentioned at the beginning, we haven't really spoken about the social cause and the impact that the book actually brings into society and what we actually do with the profits or the sales from the book. So for the audience, just so that we can touch base on this now, is that it's a nonprofit initiative where the sales from or the proceeds from the book goes towards the Princess D menstrual cup, and we provide for girls in the impoverished areas that do not have sanitary solutions for that time of the month. So by you purchasing the book, you are helping the cause, and we would love for you to buy the book read the stories that's going to inspire you, but also provide for a girl child. So Toni, your core message, you touched on it already, but what do you want readers to feel or reflect on after reading it?
One, that you are not alone in whatever the struggle that you are going through. Two, that there is grace and mercy, and you must learn to receive it so that you can remain within the purview of your purpose. Just keep at it, keep believing and keep going.
Yes. Keep believing and keep going. By opening your heart and sharing your experiences, Toni, you are giving readers permission to embrace their own growth without fear or shame. And I welcome other authors to come on and share their stories in Volume 4. So I just want to explore something deeper in your journey. Can you take us into a defining moment? So we're going to give away a little bit this time that shaped your story and who you are today.
You know, I wouldn't say, to be honest with you, Shamila, it wasn't a moment, but one thing that has been important to me about defining myself is to unlearn the thought that I'm defined by my errors, my misjudgments, and my mistakes. So I'm not defined by my struggles. I'm defined by redemption. And that for me is what I keep being reminded of every day is available through grace and through mercy. So I'm defined by my salvation. I'm defined by redemption. I'm defined by mercy. I'm not defined by the struggles. I'm not defined even by the incorrect judgments that I've made, even by the mistakes. Those things don't define me. And so it actually lifts the burden of carrying baggage in life, because it makes it, it enables one to move on and move through and move out of the difficulty. Because, you know, one of the things that I like to use as imagery in my head when I start sensing that I'm collecting and carrying too much of the past, I'm reminded of how a vehicle is made. The front windscreen is so big and so wide. And so where you're going is bigger than where you are coming from. So in relation to the rearview mirror on a car, we should see our past. The size of the rearview is that much smaller because the future is bigger. The best is yet to come.
Best is yet to come. Yes, for sure. And if we don't try, we don't get there. And if we don't pick ourselves up, nothing happens. So it's entirely up
Absolutely.
to us. Yes, believe. Definitely your voice matters. And, you know, again, I want to thank you for your contribution in this anthology. Just by you trusting me, trusting the platform, and inspiring others, just through your authenticity. It's just unbelievable. Your story had me in tears, to be honest with you, like some of the other authors, because you just opened up just unapologetically. And I love that. And thank you to everyone that's shared in Volume 3 and the past volumes as well.
Thank you, Shamila. You know, it was, the difference was you, because they could have been any other project that I might have, but you feel so safe. You create the space that allows this level of vulnerability. And so actually, I really want to throw that gratitude back to you and say thank you, not only for reaching out, but by really making it to be an intentionally safe project that has meaningful impact beyond ourselves, each and every one of us contributing authors. So I really want to thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Toni. I appreciate that. We really want Volume 3 to be an Amazon bestseller. So, audience, please go out there and buy your copies. It's amazing. The stories, 50 stories, including mine, 51, just incredible stories. So, make sure that you put a mark on your calendar, set the date, the 4th of July. We're going live on Amazon with Volume 3. So Toni, just building on what you just said, how has your personal journey influenced your understanding of growth, purpose, and resilience? I know you touched a little bit on it at the beginning, but how has that influenced your understanding of growth, purpose, and resilience?
I've learned to understand that growth is not always going to feel comfortable or convenient. Growth requires truthful self-reflection. That is one of the things that I've learned. You know, there's a saying that goes, you can lie to everybody, you can lie to people, everyone some of the time, but you cannot lie to everybody all of the time. Now, the most important person not to lie to is yourself. That is what I've seen in my journey. It's hard. You have to be the safe space for yourself to self-reflect truthfully and to be intentional about discovering your purpose and your vision. Now, that's not even the easy part, but it's the start. So in my journey, I've had to be truthful, reflect, and then to put checkpoints in place to keep me accountable. In my journey, I have experienced that as long as it's all in my head only, there's limited accountability, because I can abort my own mission if I'm the only person I'm accounting to. So if I have a sense of higher power, for people, it's different, as we are people who believe in different things. But for me, in my faith, it has required that I grow a closer relationship with my Creator, because then there is a sense that I am accountable to the one who created me with a purpose bigger than what I can understand with my limited human understanding, but with the capacity to grow if I'm closer to the Creator. Wow. One of the other things is learning to serve. I've learned in my journey that my purpose is not just and only about me. My truth to my purpose and how honest and accountable I remain by being disciplined in my purpose, it will be able to meaningfully impact people beyond myself and generations beyond this one that I am a part of. So I then begin to realize the importance of having conviction and keeping to it. So I hold myself accountable, amongst other things, beyond my relationship with my Creator, by having people of common vision that I can test myself with and share people who provide safe spaces for me to be able to say, you know, I don't think that I am doing justice to my purpose in this way. I feel close to giving up in this area, or I am tempted to take an easy route here. And this is exactly what my story is about. Feeling tempted to serve a temporary need, which inherently compromises or adds risk to your destiny, adds risk to your purpose. One of the things that have been quite important for me has been to get out of myself. I think we are living in a world that, because of brokenness, has focused so much on self that I have heard one too many stories of a person being alone at a time of need, when we have multiple communities within spaces that we operate in, that somebody should care, you know? And so service is central to my purpose. And that means being cognitive of the needs of other people beyond myself. It also keeps our human egos in check.
Yes, absolutely.
Because as you grow, you get more confident, you do bigger and bolder and better things. And because of human nature, some of it feeds one's ego, you know. And so if you are intentional about serving, you do not allow the ego to grow beyond the purpose. And so that's just maybe a bite that I can share at this point. Otherwise, everybody needs to buy the book and read.
Yes, please. So, you know, what you said, just to touch on that, definitely grounded advice, practical, yes, and also deeply rooted in purpose. And that's what is so important in your chapter as well. I see a sense of hope in what you're sharing, and this is definitely going to inspire lots of people.
I really, I hope so. You know, there's a story that they're actually two, but maybe let me share one. So there were two brothers, Jacob and Esau. Now, Esau was destined for great things, but Esau, in a moment of misjudgment, chose out of hunger. Hunger is a physical thing, it's a physical need. But I mean, if you don't eat right now, immediately, you're not going to die, you get. But, and so Esau he allowed manipulation by his brother by appealing to his physical hunger. And so he ate, and basically what he did, he disinherited himself out of purpose, you know. So that's one story that never leaves my mind. I never want to allow temporary convenience or to feed a temporary need that is especially a physical, if it's going to cost me any part of my purpose. The other one is simply playing with fire. If you carry hot coals in your hands, you are going to get burned. And so we should really have clarity. And I've learned to have clarity in identifying and discerning those things that are possibly going to pose a risk to my destiny.
Wow, I could go on listening to you and talking to you forever, Toni. So, just on your reflection, I know you said you had your notes and you put this chapter together. How did this impact you personally?
It was actually quite scary. Realizing that now it's not just a journal in my notes that no one is ever going to read. It actually put me in such a place of vulnerability and having to make peace that I felt exposed even as I was busy writing it, but I was intentional because I knew ultimately it's a testimony for me. And that's what helped me, that if I hold on and allow the fear of shame to keep this and not share it, I'm disallowing somebody else who's going through it the opportunity to be free and find the hope that I have found and find a way to lift myself up and keep the hope. You know, so it really put me in a scary, vulnerable place for a moment, but I'm so glad because I know I don't have a spirit of fear. And so I had to disbelieve that fearful lie that was ingraining itself in my heart in that moment. And now I'm really free. I'm free, one, because it's the truth. And I mean, very few things are freeing as much as truth is. Mm-hmm. It's the truth. And two, I know that somebody will be encouraged. I trust that somebody will be encouraged to know that, one, you are not abnormal. You are normal. It's okay. You're going to be all right. And you can.
I actually don't think it's going to be just one person. It's going to be many people.
And sure. I hope that if it's just one, that's important enough. But if it's more, even better.
So I have one word to sum that up. Powerful.
I'm so grateful for the platform to just contribute to this. Really, it's
Thank
such an important project.
Thank you so much for sharing your story as as well as coming on board now to give the audience a little bit as to what to expect in the book. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we end the chat?
I think everybody should really look forward to the launch. We are going to launch soon, Doctor, as I cannot wait. And I'm really excited to share all of the stories. I can't wait to read all the other stories, the other 50 stories in the book.
It's incredible. Some of the authors have come out for the first time to tell their stories. And it's really touched me. I've read all the stories so far, and it's just so amazing. But yes, you're going to read it for sure. Toni, thank you so much for your contribution and not only inspiring but impactful, meaningful, and deeply appreciated by me and the rest of the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shamila.
Audience, this is just one of the many powerful voices featured in Watering the Seed Stories of Personal Growth Volume 3. Please make sure you get your copies. And if you would like to join us at the launch, please look at our social media platforms. We share the link where you can register, be an attendee, and come to our glam red carpet awards and dinner. And we'd love to see you there. Do not forget to like, share, and follow the Red Corner Show. Stories to share. If you would like to be a guest on the show, please drop me an email, redcornershow@gmail.com, and you too could be sharing your story. Until next time, thank you and goodbye. Thank you, Toni.
Thank you.